In the previous lecture, we are reached to the point that how to define a variable and choose the correct measure in the SPSS. So let's look at some variables in our questionnaire. As you see, some variables are naturally recorded by the numbers, and after these numbers come after counting or measuring something. These type of variables are called scaled or metric variables. In this example, age, height, weight, and the number of children, for example, are scaled variable. And some of these variables reported with a unit. Here for age is centimeter for height and the kilograms for the weight. Since the units have subunits, or these variables are already subunits of other units itself, it might be possible to show them with decimals if the decimal is measured. In this case, the height is recorded up to 1 decimal, 168.5, but the other two are recorded without any decimals. And however, a variable such as number that recorded with the number of children here, naturally cannot have any decimal. We cannot never say 1.2 children or something like this. And this kind of variable that we never can have any decimal, it's impossible for them to show them by decimals. We call them the discrete variables, which is also a type of the metric variable. One thing about all these metric variables is we always have a meaningful mathematical value between them. If someone have 4 children and the other one have 2 children, 4 divided by 2 is 2, means this family has twice children as the other one. Or for the weight, for example, is 20 kilograms is twice as big as 10 kilograms, or 20 minus 10 is 10, and something like this. We have a mathematical value. But if the categories in the answer, if we have categories in the answers, they are categorical variables. And if the categories mutually exclusive without any meaningful order, we call it nominal. In this case, we have, for example, male and female. Or sometimes we have categories, if the categories have a meaningful order but not equal interval values, we call it ordinal. I will explain the interval values a little bit in this case. But first, in this example, male and female are mutually exclusive. As you see here, male, female are mutually exclusive, but education has an order. During adding data in SPSS, we might replace the subcategories with numbers. For instance, 1 for male and 2 for female. In this case, the mathematical value of 2 has no meaning, and 1 and 2 are only new names for the male and female. However, if we replace education subgroups, for example, high school as 1, 2 for bachelor, 3 for master, and 4 for higher education, that, as you see, we use also the numbers as name, and we know comparing 4 to 3 to 2 and 1, it has more education between from 4 to 3, more from 3 to 2, and number 2 has more education than 1. But the interval between these values has no mathematical value. They are not equal, and they only show the rank in ordinal variables. These variables in SPSS can be defined in the column measure as scale for both continuous and discrete metric variables, and also nominal or ordinal for categorical variables. defining variables, by the way, is the first step that we do any data analysis. And in the first step of each data analysis, we should do the description of each variables, which called descriptive statistic, the basic descriptive statistic. And it's absolutely different way for the explaining or describing the continuous or categorical variables. From now on, just for the sake of easiness, we use the word categorical for both nominal and ordinal values, and we compare it with the continuous variable. Metric discrete variable can be also known as the continuous because they have mathematical values but no decimals, as explained. But we can have two major parts to explain and go forward with the describing variables as continuous and categorical.